Okay, guys, I've gotten a lot of requests on doing photos like these for sports, and people wanted a tutorial. Creating this one as a paid tutorial, but you guys in this group will get this for free. We're going to take Willow. Willow is one of the better soccer players on my son's team. We're going to take her, and we're going to create something kind of like this, and try and make it something like this. All this stuff are done with custom brushes. These are all custom brushes. The soccer ball, I believe it comes from photo stock. So, first part of the process, when I zoom in, this is not the best quality photo, but either way, we're going to zoom in here. We got to crop Willow out. So I'm going to take the quick select tool and see how that works. This gives you a start anyway. You can go back in and take out some things like this here. Hold your Alt key down. See how you get the little minus. Try and paint that in. Like I said, all this stuff we can work out of this later, but hair is one of the hardest things I find to capture. Yeah, we'll go in and edit all that out. Don't want that. Sometimes a quick select brush is not as smart as it thinks it is. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Photoshop, but you can hold your spacebar down and it'll give you your little hand. You can move your image around quite quickly. I'll probably speed all this up so you probably won't even hear me talking anyway. First things first, I should have told you this before, we always want to duplicate our layer. And we'll hide the background layer. This will be our original. We got Willow all rotoscoped out kind of here. I want to create a new layer. Put it behind this one. Save that as background layer. We'll turn Willow off here. No, we'll keep Willow on. We want to cut Willow out, so Control X for cut. If you don't know, you can also go up here and cut out. You see all your shortcut keys. Hopefully by now you guys know all this. So we're gonna cut her out. Oh, we gotta be on the right layer. Cut her out. Bye bye Willow. Hide this new layer and paste. And we can come back in and fix all this. If we want to use some of the grass, we actually can. We're going to duplicate this layer. Only because I want to get the grass and everything. How do we want to do this? Yeah, we'll just take the lasso tool, we'll go along here. We'll cut that out. Bring it back up to Willow. Original. Hide this so we can see what the heck we're doing. Let's do magic tool. Select this area. Selection, modify, feather. We'll do like 75 pixels. Hit delete once. Delete twice. No, once is good. And my history brush because I did it boo-boo. Okay. Pop Willow back in there. Control D for deselect. I still don't like that, so we can actually put a mask on it. And then we can grab our brush, choose our black, Put our brush back to where we should be. Okay, and if you don't know your bracket keys, just up above your enter key, you can shrink and expand your brush size. So a little too much. You just go across the top half. So a little too much. If you change your color to like a half kind of gray, you can actually, whoops, way too much. More toward the white. You can actually take out a little bit and not a whole lot. I'll turn all you Lightroom guys into Photoshop people here soon. So now I can go back to my black and kind of kill these harsh edges. Shrink my brush down because I'm killing it. I'm just trying to make a background we can blend in later. So if we want to see what this looks like, let's just fill it with some black. This will give you kind of an idea where you're at. Go back to our brush. So now you can see where I did the gray. So if I want to just, if I don't want to go too crazy on it, but I still want to darken this up. Oops, undo. Come back in like this. And keep a little light in there. See how I got that little bit of dark now? Now if I go back to black, I can really cut this down. Get rid of that hard line. This will kind of leave a neat little background. If you got too much here that you don't like, just switch it to white. I think you can, if you hit X on your keyboard, it'll swap these colors back and forth. So we'll do some white. Too much brush size. Shrink my brush down. This will make it look kind of like some pretty cool light. I'm going to go in and fix all this stuff up here now. If we want, we go in Willow, create a layer mask. This way, well, let's try something. Mistake already that I failed to do in cropping. So we can shut. Okay, so I do have her off a little bit. Go to our move tool and move that image up and then check. So now I need to go over some. One key and up. You just get it kind of close. And you're not going to get it perfect, like I said. So we need this section here. I boo-booed that, so let's fix that. We'll take this section here, copy. Oh, we want to copy up this layer, so copy, paste. And we want to move it around to blend it in. We now have a willow cut out. So it'll fit on screen. I'm going to pause it here and go take a break. Actually, with the lighting, this photo actually doesn't look too bad the way it is. I'm not going to fix the hair. We can get into that some other time. Okay, moving on. I got brushes different style brushes, Photoshop brushes. .com or myphotoshopbrushes.com. You can get tons of brushes here. I don't know what we're gonna go for, but I will put the link in whatever I use so you guys know where to download them. Okay. I kind of like what we've got. Let's see what happens when we merge these. Put them in a folder. Hold your shift key down, click on, well, highlight the stuff you want. Hold your shift key down, click on the folder, and it puts everything in the folder for you. I'm going to duplicate it, hide this one, and merge this one. So technically, if we turn the background off, we've got one image that looks kind of like that. Turn our background back on. Control J is duplicate. So, do we want to duplicate again? Nah, we'll just keep it like that. I want to do a new layer. Let's move this layer behind that to another new layer and put this layer above. Now I've got a bunch of different brushes off these sites. Let me do a reset and show you how to load these brushes. So we're going to reset the brushes. Okay. These are your basic Photoshop brushes. I've got all these brushes here. But I'm going to actually go in and load a brush. These are ink spot brushes. Got all sorts of cool stuff there. These are lighting brushes, water drop effects. Let's do a, I think it's 17. You see it loaded these 3 brushes here, so that's not everything. Let's go and load brushes again. Try 16. This is one of his newer sets. I might as well load them all. 16, 14. These are some cool little swirly ones here. What we want to do, we're on one layer, so we can actually just click this here. Use Control T. You can rotate this around. Let's see. So we want something like that. You can rotate them around. You can move them around where you want. Actually, doesn't look too bad there. Hit enter and it'll take your transformation part off. Now, while we're right here, let's put a mask on this one. Get our black brush. Zoom in. I want to make this look kind of three-dimensional. So what I'm going to do is take my brush, switch it back to my normal brush, bring it down. We're going to paint out what's on our skin. We want this to actually look like it's wrapping around. That I'm going to leave in front. And this here I'll take out. It's all, however you want to do it. See, it looks like it kind of wraps around behind her shoe. This one goes behind her leg and disappears down here somewhere. Now the cool part, you see, I see some stuff in there I don't like, so I'm going to still keep knocking this stuff out. I don't like this one. If we wanted to, we could duplicate the layer and bring it back to strong. Then we can actually take this layer and go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, you can actually blur it out a lot, but then it starts looking crappy. So I keep it right around 5. Okay. If you like those, you can merge the 2 layers together. Now I'm going to show you how to color these. Hold your control key down, click on the image, and you see how it highlights that? This is where we'll take, let's try with a brush. This is a girly one, so we're going to do some pink. Bring your brush up. I'm just going to color it in. The whole secret to the coloring is to the control and click on that layer, and it selects the actual pixels in the layer that are colored or that are not transparent. So now we can go in with, I know she likes green. So we're going to try some green. Not too much, I mean just enough to give it some bling bling, I guess you'd say. Control D will deselect. We can kick out here. Now we can go back in, add a new layer. Go back to your brush. Choose anything you like. We can try this one. And you can rotate these, get them where you want them. Depending on her angle, how you want it to come off. Try to make everything flow in one direction though, just more uniform. So we'll go here. Oops, so let's see, I kept the green on. But you can also pull this layer down behind her so it's behind, which it doesn't look too bad. But I wanted to go back. So I want to do another new layer. Control T. Stretch this baby out a little bit. Hit enter. We'll go back and we'll color that. If we don't like this other layer, we can just get rid of it. I want to go back into my brushes. Oh, no, I want to actually create another layer. So, new layer. Brushes, let's load up. Another new layer. Now, if you're not careful, see how you get a pattern looking things? I don't like that layer. So I'll just Control All, or Control A for select all and delete. Control D to unselect. You want to use a bunch of different ones to make this look really unique. Let's see what we got here. Kind of a dragony looking thing. Control T. Turn it around how we want it. Put that one there. Can make it a little bigger. Back to our brush. This one looks kind of cool. And you can bump the size up here too. I just like to scale them to how I want them. So we can take that one. Oh, see what I did? I didn't do the layer. like something like that. Now this is where we can get creative too. Take this and put on top so it swirls around her. It gives it kind of a neat little... It incorporates her more into the scene. I already had 11 in there. Let's see what this one does. This is kind of a cool one. This would actually be a cool one to put around the ball. So if we hid this layer, it looks like lightning around the ball. Control T, rotate it around where you think it would look cool. Move it over the ball, might want it a little bit bigger. That one actually looks pretty cool. Do we want that one in there? I think we do, but we'll pull it behind that. Because if we pull it behind the subject, it's going to get lost behind the grass. But that doesn't look too bad either. So we could actually take this shot, hold down your control key, click, it'll highlight that. Let's make this one look like lightning. Go back to a normal brush. Nice feathered brush, 0 hardness. Bracket key down. I'm just going to paint that whole thing blue. Deselect. Now see how it's a little off, so I control T. And bring that edge out to there, a little bit there. Well, again, we can add a layer mask to this subject if you don't like this up here. So you don't like all that blue. Just take your brush, make sure you're on black, shrink it down, and just paint out what you don't like. It's a neat thing about Photoshop is so many layers. Now we can do so many things. You know, we can even try and see what it looks like without that. That's kind of a cool effect. If we want, we could actually cut the opacity down on this one. I mean, it loses a lot when you do that. Yeah, we'll just go with what we got. We're going to go back to coloring. We want to go back to our pink. We want to find what we want to color. We already did that one. I want this one in front. So this one here. Bring my brush up. Switch my color to green. That kind of blends it in with everything else. Find this next layer that we want. Deselect, Control D, Control, click on layer, and now we could give this a little, let's just say it looks like a blue. Doesn't look too bad. Now we could actually give this one purple, or pink, but it kind of looks purpley, don't it? Deselect. I don't know. Let's go back. We'll just do the tips. A little bit of light there. And we got this one back here, which we can do. Let's do a little bit of green, lightly green. Oops. And do that. Deselect. Click on that. Whoops. Where I did that one green. Looks like that's pretty much all you have to do. And we can add a cool background in here. So I'm going to pause this for a minute, go find a background, and then we'll drop it in the back and see what we got. Okay, so I went online and found some free wallpapers, basically. Let's do the clouds. Select all. Control C for copy. Back to our photo. Make sure we're down here on the background layer. Control V to paste. Control T to make bigger. I'm holding a shift key down to keep it proportional, because if you don't, you'll get something like this, which isn't a bad look. We could actually get away with something like that. Once you get it where you want, hit enter on your keyboard. It'll resize it in there. Now, I want to bump the opacity down because it's taken away from our player. I'm going to add another layer mask. Grab my brush. I'm going to kind of paint out around her so the sky doesn't take away all the detail. Again, I mean, we can change this to a gray, and this way it just kind of darkens up everything around it. Just play with it and see what settings you like. I mean, because you don't have to take it all out, but we can fog out a lot of this. I kind of like the smoke on the ground. This is a little too much over here. Take that out. I want to keep a lot of detail on our player here. Maybe I want to lighten that up a little bit. And if you use a bigger brush, you get a good feather too. Oh, see, I brought that back in. I didn't want to do that. Now you can do anything with the backgrounds. I got this one here. This is just a tornado shot with what I liked about it is the road. Let's say, well, let's try this. I'll move this up, turn this layer on. We'll take this layer and add another mask. Get our brush. And we can literally paint out the whole sky in this. And say we didn't want tornado, but we want these tracks. These tracks look really cool. I want to take more of this out. That's just too much for me. Let me just lower the opacity. That kind of works. To our gray brush. Back to almost black. Then we want to keep our character in focus. And that's about it on that one. I usually like to put my watermark on, so I'll recent photos. I'll go into the photo I've already done. I'll move it off the page. You won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to see my layers. I'll grab my signature. Pull it over. Make sure your layer is all the way up on top for your signature. And your signature too, that's kind of a critical thing. you want to put it where it looks best in the photo. I'm just going to leave mine there. The only other thing, like I said, we can go back in and take care of her hair. Layer mask on there. Back to our brush. Kick it down. It kind of fixes her hair a little bit. And that's about that for this tutorial. I'll try and find all the links to all these brushes that I've got, and I'll put them in with the description of this one. Okay guys, have fun. One more thing I forgot. Saving your file for Facebook. I'm going to do image size. I'll bump this down to 135, only because it gets me quick 130. Your width 2500 pixels, resolution 72. Only because we're going to put this on Facebook and you can't see anything over 72 dpi on web graphics. Now, we've got that resize. I'm going to go to File, Save for Web. Make sure you select excuse me, on your presets PNG24. And we wait. It's not too choppy when we knocked it down like that. Take off transparency. Do save. Then you're going to want to save it wherever you save any of your stuff. Mine's going to be in Sports Customs. It's named Willow PNG, but for Facebook I'll tag it for FB so I know when I'm uploading it. And that's about that. Then you can go ahead and upload it to Facebook. You've now got a complete custom sports photography that you can actually sell to parents, and they pay pretty good money for this stuff, so don't let them cheap you out. You put a lot of time into this work. I know this tutorial is taking me 55 minutes at this time, which isn't too bad, but get paid for what you're worth. That's all I can say. Don't cut deals. You start cutting deals, you're going to be cutting deals the rest of your life. I am the master of that. All my businesses, I cut deals, and I wish I never did. So take some advice. Don't cut deals. Charge what you are worth. That is my biggest tip to any of you guys. So with that said, I'm going to wrap this up, get it all edited up, posted up for you guys, and then we will be off, and you can learn how to do this too. Have a good night, guys.